All right, we're here with the Declo Hornets. Another solid season last year, state runner-up. Just, Coach, what's the vibe and just thoughts going into this year?
Well, we got a lot of new faces. We had 8 starters graduate last year, but we've got a great younger group coming up. And these guys sitting here with me, it's either started or played a lot last year on both offense and defense. So we've got some guys returning as well. And we're excited to see what some of these up-and-coming guys can do. And with the leadership of these guys, we're excited, and we know that the high expectations, and we know that we'll be a competitive team again this year.
Yeah, and for the guys here, you're all seniors, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So whether you played it was last year or the year before, just what have you learned from this run the last 2 years that you're trying to take into this year, maybe teach some of those guys that are stepping into new roles?
Go ahead, Bob.
I feel like through these past few years, it's kind of, you got to win your last game. Through these past 2 years, we haven't won our last game, and it's just that mindset that you want to win your final one.
Okay, so has that been motivating you through workouts and off-season stuff?
Yeah.
So when did you guys, because I know some of you play basketball too, when did you start putting the work in for this season?
It all starts first week of summer.
Okay.
Start working.
Started in the spring, actually. We had some spring practices.
Have some
drills.
spring practices.
Okay. And what has it been like trying to, get everyone as up to speed as you can? Because like you guys said, a lot of new guys. I think you graduated 5 Ball State guys from last year who were really big parts of this team in the last couple of years.
Yeah, with that, it's always sad to see great athletes graduate. I mean, it's great that they graduate. It's great that they're going on and doing great things. But it's sad to see them leave because you wish they could stay. But it's also exciting. It brings new challenges, and it's exciting to see what other guys can do. And like I said, the excitement coming into this preseason has been just really good. It's been exciting to see some of the changes and some of the tweaks we've had to make, and seeing guys step up and seeing guys be leaders, and that's just real exciting. Now with all the new players, we'll find out more kind of what they can do, and as we get kind of wrapped up here with summer and kind of get that last minute stuff in and get some excitement there.
I don't expect you to give away the playbook or anything, but you mentioned tweaks a little bit. Just what are some things that are going to be a little different this year with you guys?
Well, nothing super different, but we want to focus on being consistent. We want to be balanced. We want to do different things, but we don't want to have so much stuff that we're not good at something. We want to be good at everything that we do, and not have so much stuff that we're not really good at anything. We want to have an identity, and we want to be really good at, sometimes less is more, and we want to be good at some big things and execute those well and make teams, even though maybe they know what you might do, they know what you're about, but they still have to line up and stop you. And to be that kind of team that can line up at anything, and a defense knows what you're going to do, you can still be effective because of your execution, and that's kind of the team we want to be. We want to be able to line up and either run the ball, pass the ball, whatever, and make ourselves effective just because of our execution. And a defense can plan and everything can be ready, but offensively, we want to be effective at anything that we do.
Yeah. And you mentioned new quarterback, Trayson Baxton, right? Sophomore, just what have you guys seen from him and him stepping in under center this year? Was Hayden his brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Landon, what do you think? Playing wide receiver.
I think, obviously has some room to grow in certain aspects, but he has a really good arm. So I think if he just gets those leadership skills and fulfilling the role of a QB is a big thing to do. So, but it's going to take some work and some reps, but I think he'll be great.
Yeah. And just who other guys you see stepping into these roles? I know Preston, you kind of popped some games I saw last year, alongside Gavin and Bodie and those guys. So just who are some other guys you see kind of stepping in and stepping up wherever it may be?
Well, we've got some juniors too that have impacted us last year that are going to be even more impactful this year. Dax and Dane Gerard. Dane being a returning All-State linebacker for us, are going to be big prospects for us. Both of them are on both sides of the ball. And we've got some more seniors too. We got Alex Ramiro, who didn't play last year, is coming back this year as an offensive lineman, defensive lineman. Trevin Everett, who played a little bit last year, and he's an offensive line, defensive lineman for us as well. Kind of stepping into those roles, and we've seen some great progress from those guys. And so that builds to that excitement that we have with some of the new guys. And so, yeah, I mean, and then a big sophomore class and a big freshman class coming through. So it's good to see that the well's not drying up.
And Coach, for you, this is year 2. I know you were at the school a year before taking over that coach, but how much more comfortable are you now going to second year as head coach, kind of leading things?
Yeah, everything seems to be a little bit smoother just because, I've gotten a year under my belt and kind of learned how to do some things and done some things different than I would have done last year, not really knowing and kind of, playing the game of figuring it out. You never really know when you first start out exactly how things will go, and so you kind of just got to try it and learn it, and sometimes you make a mistake and sometimes you don't do it right, and then you learn from that. And so I think this year just being a little sharper when it comes to decision making and organization and things like that can always get better. And I think definitely I've already noticed things have been a lot smoother this year than they were last year.
Yeah, is that something you guys have noticed as well? See some nods?
Oh yeah. Everyone knows how it rolls, everyone knows how to go off Jones.
Okay. And Kyle, I know for you, your coach is an old line coach. I know he's the head coach now, but that DNA never really leaves. So just what's it like kind of having your head coach being, former line coach and also playing at a place like Declo that kind of prides itself on that physical, like, smash mouth, tough up front?
Yeah, I feel like it kind of creates a bigger trust because as an old line coach, you kind of bond with the kids, and I know I felt that kind of just bonding with him. And then when he calls these plays, he knows what we can do, and we can just move a certain guy in a certain gap and create that gap for the guy to run through.
Yeah. I know the schedule for you guys, a lot of familiar faces, but at least the first front half, 2/3 of it, there doesn't really seem to be an easy team on it. So just what are you guys doing to prepare yourself from now until that kind of schedule gets rolling with Teton and then Nampa and just some of those conference teams?
Well, with a 0-week game, we got Teton again, and we're actually going to be traveling there again this year. A last-minute change that we've had in the schedule. So playing that road game again early is always a challenge, but having that schedule early on really, I think, prepares you for once you get into October. Some teams are really banged up, and some teams kind of have that toughness that they can kind of battle through it. And we want to get to October. We have a bye week there at the beginning of October, and we want to get to that bye week healthy, but we also want to have seen a lot of great competition, which we will see, and kind of get us prepared for that late season stretch. And then as we get into the postseason, which we obviously plan to be there, we want to be prepared and have seen a lot of things. So we're not blindsided by all of a sudden we're playing really good teams and we don't really know how to deal with it, how to deal with the adversity and the challenges with it.
Yeah. And you mentioned that postseason. I know you guys have been in the title game the last 2 years and lost. I'm sure that's where you want to go again. But how do you make sure you're balancing wanting to do that and not kind of looking ahead of other parts of the year?
Yeah, we preach 1 week at a time. We've got ourselves in trouble sometimes with overlooking teams and moving on to looking forward to a week ahead or 2 weeks ahead or whatever, and we get into a situation where we're battling a team that we thought we could just beat by a lot, and they're battling with us, and we're trying to find ways to survive. And so we don't want to be in that situation. We've got to treat every week, and no matter who we play, the same. It's week by week, and every opponent, we've got to respect every opponent that we play. We've got to be confident, but we don't want to be overconfident and overlook teams and then find ourselves in a really bad situation.
Yeah. And just to end on, I'm somebody who's not from the area, and I've kind of noticed being Declo, like, the community is always there. I remember being at state basketball last year, and the support was crazy. Was there any of you guys players, just what is it like to kind of play for Declo and play for the community that you guys have?
I think it's awesome because after every game, you got almost every person, every person, and they're coming and congratulating you on what you've done.
Anyone else got anything to add to that, playing for the Declo community?
No, yeah, I feel like it's like a huge responsibility because the community is so involved with the football team, and it's a big deal every Friday night to go out and see the games and stuff. So it's a big responsibility to play well and play for the community.
Is that something you've learned to embrace, though?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all I have. Thanks, guys, for coming in, and best of luck this fall.
Thank you.